There is a powder sitting in the earth right now that has been killing insects for millions of years. It costs about $10 for a 10-pound bag. It has no toxic chemicals, it is safe around children and pets, and it works on cockroaches, bedbugs, fleas, ants, silverfish, ticks, and more. The pest control industry charges you hundreds of dollars to spray synthetic chemicals in your home twice a year. This powder does the same job for pennies. Today we are going to talk about what it is, exactly how it works, and precisely how to use it so that it actually does its job. The powder is called Diatomaceous earth. You may have heard the name before, most people have, but very few people know what it actually is, how it actually kills bugs, or why it works so much better when you understand the mechanism behind it. So let us start at the beginning. Diatomaceous earth is made from the fossilized remains of diatoms. Diatoms are a type of ancient aquatic microorganism, a phytoplankton, that has existed on this planet for hundreds of millions of years. These organisms had shells made of silica, which is one of the hardest naturally occurring substances on Earth. When diatoms died, they sank to the bottom of lakes and oceans and accumulated in massive sedimentary deposits over millions of years. We mine those deposits today, grind them into a fine powder, and that powder is diatomaceous earth. To your naked eye, it looks like a fine white dust, silky, almost like talc, completely harmless to the touch. But under a microscope, every single particle is a shattered silica shell with jagged, razor-sharp edges. That is the whole secret. When an insect crawls through diatomaceous earth, those microscopic edges do two things simultaneously. They scratch and pierce the waxy outer layer of the insect's exoskeleton, and they absorb the oils and moisture from the insect's body. Without that waxy coating, the insect cannot retain water. It dehydrates from the inside out and dies. There is no chemical involved, no poison, no nervous system disruption. It is purely physical. The bug dries out and dies. And here's the part that makes pest control companies very uncomfortable. Insects cannot become immune to it, ever. Chemical pesticides are facing a growing resistance crisis. Cockroaches, bed bugs, and fleas are all developing genetic resistance to the synthetic compounds used against them. That is why exterminators keep having to rotate chemicals and come back for repeat treatments. Diatomaceous earth works on a mechanical level. There is no chemistry to adapt to. No resistance is possible. A cockroach that has survived every pesticide spray in your building will still dehydrate and die when it walks through diatomaceous earth. Now let us talk about the one grade distinction that you absolutely must know before you buy any. There are two types of diatomaceous earth, food grade and pool grade. Pool grade diatomaceous earth has been heat treated and chemically altered for use in swimming pool filtration systems. It contains a form of silica called crystalline silica at very high concentrations. This version is genuinely toxic and should never be used for pest control or anywhere near people or animals. Food grade diatomaceous earth is the one you want. It is the natural, unaltered form. The silica in it is amorphous rather than crystalline, which means it is not harmful to mammals. You can even find it sold as a feed supplement for livestock. It is registered with food safety authorities and is safe to use in your home around children and pets once it is settled. The only precaution worth taking seriously is to wear a dust mask when applying it, because any fine powder, including talc or flour, can irritate your respiratory tract if you inhale a large amount while pouring. Apply it, let it settle, and you are done. So how do you actually use it? The number one rule is thin and dry. A thick pile of diatomaceous earth does not work better than a thin dusting. Insects will simply walk around a big pile. What you want is a barely visible layer, like a fine film of dust, spread along the exact paths that insects travel. Think of it as an invisible barrier they have to cross, not a trap you are hoping they stumble into. Here is exactly where to apply it for the most common pest problems. For cockroaches, apply along the inside edges of cabinets, under the refrigerator and stove, along the back of the spaces under your sink, around the base of your walls where they meet the floor, and inside any cracks in your walls or around pipes. Cockroaches hug walls and tight spaces. You are lining their highways. For bedbugs, this is where diatomaceous earth becomes especially powerful because chemical treatments struggle to penetrate the cracks and crevices where bedbugs hide. Apply a thin layer along the seams of your mattress and box spring, around the feet of your bed frame, under the edges of carpeting near the bed, behind electrical outlet covers on walls near the bed, and inside any cracks in your headboard or furniture. Because you need the bugs to walk through it repeatedly, leave it in place, and be patient. Results take anywhere from 2 days to 10 days, depending on the severity of the infestation. If you're watching this and you want more of these forgotten tricks that the modern industry would rather you not know about, subscribe to this channel right now and hit the bell. Every week, we bring back something old, something proven, and something that puts the power back in your hands where it belongs. You do not want to miss what is coming next. For fleas, treat your carpets, rugs, and upholstered furniture. Work a thin layer into the carpet fibers with a brush or broom. Let it sit for at least 72 hours and then vacuum thoroughly. Repeat the treatment every 2 weeks for 2 months to catch newly hatched fleas that the first round did not get, since Diatomaceous earth does not kill eggs directly. For ants, focus on their entry points. Find where they are coming in, which is usually around windowsills, door frames, utility pipe entries, or cracks in your foundation, and apply a thin line across that entry point. You can also trace back to where they are trailing along baseboards and dust lightly along those paths. For silverfish, which love dark and damp spaces, treat behind bookshelves, inside closets, around bathroom baseboards, and under bathroom and kitchen sinks. One critical limitation to understand: diatomaceous earth only works when dry. Moisture neutralizes it completely. If you apply it somewhere that gets wet, you need to reapply once the area dries out. This is also why outdoor use has limited effectiveness unless you are applying it in a sheltered area like a crawl space, garage, or covered porch. The results are not instant, and that is worth saying directly. This is not a spray that drops a roach in 30 seconds. Diatomaceous earth works over days. But unlike a spray that evaporates and leaves no residual protection, diatomaceous earth stays active indefinitely as long as it remains dry. One application in an undisturbed area like inside a wall crack or under a cabinet keeps working for months, even years, without you doing anything else. That is a very different kind of pest control than what you are sold in a store or by a technician. One thing that dramatically improves your results is how you apply it. Pouring straight from the bag gives you too much in one spot and too little everywhere else. The best tool for the job is a simple squeeze bottle with a pointed tip or a small handheld duster, which you can find online for just a few dollars. These let you puff a controlled, even cloud of powder into tight corners, behind appliances, inside wall cracks, and under furniture without making a mess or wasting product. If you do not have either, a clean condiment squeeze bottle works surprisingly well. The goal is always the same: a whisper thin, even coating right where insects walk. Diatomaceous earth also has a second life in the garden. If you are dealing with beetles, aphids, or crawling pests on your vegetable plants, you can dust it lightly on and around the base of your plants in dry weather. It will not harm your soil, your plants, or earthworms that stay underground. Just keep in mind it will affect beneficial insects like ground beetles if they crawl through it, so apply it targeted and sparingly rather than broadcasting it across your whole garden. A $10 bag of food-grade diatomaceous earth contains enough powder to treat every room in an average house multiple times over. Keep it in a sealed container, keep it dry, and it has no real expiration date. Compare that to a single pest control visit, which runs anywhere from $150 to $300 and requires you to vacate your home while chemicals dry. The math is not complicated. The pest control industry does not recommend it. The companies that sell synthetic sprays do not mention it. But the homeowners who know about it use it consistently, quietly, and almost never have to call an exterminator. That is diatomaceous earth. Ancient, mechanical, cheap, and quietly more effective than most of what gets sold to you as modern pest control. The next video on this channel goes just as deep on another forgotten trick that works just as well. Go watch it now.